This is your Critical Crush, where we keep it cute, candid, and connected. I'm Jay Theo, and tonight is a little different. We have my very first guest ever, Kima, which I'm super excited that he is here. We've been mutuals for years, and so great that he's here because I really respect his takes on a lot of things: pop culture, society, our government, just everything that's going on in the world. And he always says things that's on people's minds. He's not lazy about it, and I think he really sparks a lot of great conversation. So I just want to first off say thank you, Kima, for being here tonight.
Thank you.
And one thing we're really going to focus on tonight, and like everybody does, we all change, we all evolve. And Kima, can't you say like you're somebody who's changed and evolved over time, especially in the public eye with being on the Clock app and, social media in general?
Yes,
How
absolutely.
is that? I know for me, it's been like an up and down kind of roller coaster, to be honest. I thought I didn't care that much about what people think, I guess. But sometimes the people's just reaction to things is just a lot.
Everybody cares about what people think. Everybody cares. They say they don't. Even celebrities, they watch our pages. They know what we say. Companies too. It's weird though. Like I've noticed the difference in myself because I see old memories pop up, like old videos that I recorded, and I'm like, that is a different person than who I am now. And other people have noticed it too. And sometimes it's a conscious effort to shift and evolve, and then sometimes it's just like I'm not like that anymore. Like yeah, I don't even notice it myself until so much time has passed.
No, but that's a great way to put it. Like I feel like sometimes I do feel like I consciously am shifting like a way I thought or like something, a perspective. Or it is like I'll look back at something or be like, oh wow. Or like look at a past YouTube video too and I'm like, wow. But I feel like that's the growth part. And I think that's the great thing about I feel like creators like us that kind of understand the nuance to things and stuff that like we do grow, we do change, we can have a new perspective. Where sometimes I do feel like our younger girls, just in general, our younger population sometimes doesn't have that openness to like somebody kind of shifting, And I think obviously like our society has done a little bit of that.
I've faced that before because a lot of people in their mind when they view you, when they consume your content, they view you one way. They don't view you as like an actual human being. They view you as like an online entity where how they met you is how you are, and you're not allowed to grow, evolve or learn or anything like that. But they are.
Yeah,
You just can't.
exactly. Exactly.
And yeah, I've noticed that. I've been on the receiving end of that before.
I definitely want to talk about us as black queer men and when it comes to how we view each other. And the theme of tonight is, do we actually like each other? And in that question, it's not so much do we show up for each other, but do we actually like each other? We may say things and speak to things and even feel things, but it's like, you know, our actions, how we move, how we vibe, the friendships we build, the people we date, all these things can kind of intermingle and represent like what it really means for us when we speak to community as black gay men. So, with all of that said, when me and Kim are talking tonight, I really want it to be a friendly vibe. We are becoming girls. No struggle session. Just want to let y'all know that this is not the vibe for those other type of shows. Like we are trying to here actually cultivate a vibe and community. And I'm open to being challenged and having my thoughts discussed and talked through. Like I'm somebody that believes in I'm thinking critically and having somebody criticize you in a healthy way.
Yeah, constructively.
Because that's when you learn and that's when you grow. So now with all that said, we're gonna get right into it. And my question to start the night is, when I say black gay community, Kima, what's the first feeling that hits you?
I don't really have a feeling, more so like I have a picture in my head of when I went to New York Pride. And I think the area that were in, it was either, I think it was Brooklyn. We were either in Brooklyn or probably Brooklyn.
Yes, Brooklyn. I used to live in Brooklyn.
And I just look around, I see all different black people, they're dancing and stuff, they're having fun. I see their rainbow flags. I just see like community and like a party.
I love that. For me, with all of our struggles and things that we go through as a community, I do feel love there. Like, I feel like we do love each other, I think, and I think that's why I want to have this conversation. Like and love are two different things, but I do think we love each other. Black gay people that really show up for Black people in general too, we do have a bond and a vibe for each other. And sometimes it can be a struggle love, and sometimes it can be a brotherly love, like sibling love. I think also the feeling I have, and I hope you kind of share the sentiment, is that I'm open to all of us growing. I'm open to people learning. Like,
Yeah, I see like younger gays post stuff on like their hot takes about the community and things like that on social media, and I don't feel the need to like make a response video to them or like comment or anything like that because I'm like they used to be me. I'm not gonna like wag my finger at them. I'm like, okay, it's a journey. They'll get there eventually. I see exactly the checkpoint that they're at.
I'm just having that level to be open, to be like, I'm gonna let it breathe, But
Yeah.
somebody may feel the trigger to like respond or to push their narrative on somebody. But sometimes, like you said, people aren't ready to hear certain things. Or sometimes, like my mom always say, sometimes you gotta live through something to learn.
I give them grace. I'm like, hey, they're young, gay, and radical, so I'll just give them a little grace.
Well, thanks for sharing the update on the evolving. I kind of want to talk about feelings just a little bit more in depth. Our feelings, how we're connected to our feelings, more of a layered aspect. So, my first question, what role do people usually cast you in the first time they meet you? Then, and the follow up with that would be like, were they right?
People think that I'm standoffish, and they're like, because I'm one of those people. Like, if you see me out in public, I'm like I'm just my face is just motionless, and they think that I'm gonna be like mean or something. I'm like, no, I'm usually if you see me out in public, I have my headphones on, I have my earbuds in. You may not see them, they're in, and I'm in a totally different world. But like I realize that I'm being perceived, and that people, especially a lot more frequently now, are starting to like notice me in public. So I'm like, sometimes they catch me completely off guard. Like this one girl, she walked up, she, oh my God, and I'm just like I didn't know what was going on. But yeah, people may think that I'm gonna be standoffish. Like even on the apps, when dudes like try to like talk to me, I've had people talk to me as if they already knew me, and I'm like, but I don't know you. So one dude was like, oh, I didn't think you would like XYZ, so I didn't say that to you. I'm like, have we talked before? Yeah, so a lot of people, because they see me on social media, they have a preconceived notion of me. Um, but yeah, it's very relaxed in person.
Relax. When I message you, you seem very cool. Whenever we start being mutuals, our comments, like comments here and there, stuff, it always felt chill. I mean, I know we haven't met, but well, I'm not to harp on dating too much. But first off, I'm interested in having a man. Have not really got back into dating because I'm just trying to get my life back on track. But when I do date, I've noticed questions for men. They don't be liking a lot of questions, and it's like we're on a date.
I had somebody tell me that I asked too many questions. I'm like, unless you come with a manual, I'm gonna need to ask some questions.
Exactly. Like, and they'll say that, but then be not contributing to the conversation, or they just sitting there, or they'll just say statements, and it's like, well, I get a conversation should flow, but conversations flow with questions, especially when I just met you.
Open-ended questions, like, come on, it's gonna require more than just a yes or a no.
Exactly.
One of my relationship, my longest relationship, we went to couples therapy, and
Okay.
I learned a lot about communication. I used to be the person that would give the close-ended answers. I used to be the person who didn't like actively listen. But then we went to therapy, and this was years ago. And I was on the phone with him like a few weeks ago, and he was talking. I said, "You know something? This is so crazy. I'm actually listening to you." Like I realized some like he say something, I have a rebuttal. It's not just like, oh, this happened at work. I'm like, okay. Old me would have been like, okay. Well, you said this happened. I don't feel the need to ask more questions. Like now I'm asking follow-up questions. I'm actually interested in what your answer is. But yeah, I going to therapy and like learning about communication, that allow you to see that a lot of people do not know how to communicate.
Cheers to therapy and also couples therapy. I ain't did that one yet. But I've been in group therapy. a couple of times, like with like other gay men, which has been really cool, and then obviously individual therapy. But the listening thing was a big push for me that I had to work through over the years. All my therapists like, I want you to actively listen more. I want you to respond and not react. See how your life goes, things like that. And even just like to your point, because I do really make a conscious choice to actively listen. Now, you actually have more fun when you actually listen to what they say and you respond, and you build like more of a bond. Like I've noticed with people.
Yeah, and it lets you like weed out people that probably don't your communication styles don't match up. How old was I? Like 23, 24 in couples therapy.
Oh, that was grown.
That's unheard of.
Would you recommend that?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. If you care about your relationship and mending it and making it stronger, yeah, go to couples therapy. It's not just for like married couples.
I love that. I'm glad that you brought this up because I feel like a lot of the sentiments in the gay community is like we give up, we ghost, we move on to the next one. So I like that you are an aspect of somebody that actually was like, let me try to see how we can work through this.
Yeah, it was. I don't even think it was my idea. I think it was his idea, and I did it because I was like, okay, obviously I care about this person. Let me do it. We had homework and everything, and yeah, I think that it is absolutely important. I think that it's something that more people should do, especially if you care about that person, you care about mending their relationship with that person or making it stronger. You see in any type of longevity with that person, then yeah, try therapy. It's not expensive. Y'all can split it down the middle. It is not expensive.
That was such a good time for the feeling section. Love that. Yes. Okay.
But going to therapy about communication and stuff like that, you are in an entirely different league when you leave that relationship. If you leave that relationship, or if it comes to an end and you've already gone through therapy for these issues, you're in a totally different league. Can nobody else play with your time?
Wow. Even just being in individual therapy, I've been individual therapy since I was 19. I've learned a lot earlier that I feel like sometimes trying to like vibe with somebody who's never been romantically, even friends sometimes, it's like harder to connect.
You don't have the experience. That's how I feel. It's like somebody in the 10th grade trying to collab with somebody in the 4th grade on a project. I'm like, yeah, this is not gonna work.
Yeah, and I feel like there's no easy way to say that to somebody. I've gotten savvy over the years of how to end things, but I'll use that chemistry thing real quick. We don't have the right chemistry.
Oh yeah, I say that I don't think we're compatible. Like I'll say it, I really don't think we're compatible. You sure we can just work through? You can't work through compatibility.
A lot of men do not like that word. They're like, "What are you compatible?" A lot of men I've noticed, and I don't know if it's like a black man thing, but that's mainly what I date. I feel like they always think you can like work through something. Like if you have a disconnect.
I realize like now it's not the regular gay things that like make me incompatible with somebody. I realize it's the I don't like people's politics lately.
Oh yeah.
I don't like that. Like, folk, I don't get off into all that. I'm like, well, you gotta go. Like,
Yeah, I'm working through this, but my philosophies on just the world in general is hard when you have like a very firm philosophies that are like built into like your psyche. It's not so much they even need to get there. It's just that's not just who they are. I feel like I just kind of view the world a lot differently than a lot of people, and sometimes it can just make connecting with people a little bit harder, especially intimately. Because a friend, you can like go to the movies, have a kiki, and you can be that kind of friend to them. But I feel like when you're trying to like share your life with somebody, or even like a really close friend, it's like you gotta have the same philosophy a little bit on life, or like how you look at rights versus wrongs and more and morals and character.
yeah, we got to care about similar things. It's okay to have your own personal likes and dislikes about certain things and why you feel that way about those things, but we have to be like compatible on some major things. Like we have major differences. I think one, I I don't like falling in line with anything just because that's the way it's always been done. And I don't think I could ever be with somebody who just is like a fall in line type of person. I remember there's one dude, he was like ex-military. He was a devout Christian and he was in a fraternity. I said, The hell you doing talking to me? I'm like, I don't, I'm not into any of those things.
I mean, especially because those are like so key to his like lifestyle.
Exactly. I was like, yeah, we're not compatible.
And I agree with you on that. I mean, I'm really big. I hate the saying opposites attract. And one of my favorite podcasters, Dan Savage, he's a white man, but he comes through. He's like, I've talked to enough like married people over the years and everything. He was like, opposites usually create more friction, especially when it's like philosophies or lifestyle. He's like, even the times you work, he was like, you can't really date somebody if you work a 9 to 5 and they work third shift. That's a big lifestyle shit.
That's real. I've experienced that before. That's real. And it was definitely causing some friction. That was a relationship where we went to couples therapy because I was working late at night. I would get off work at like 11 o'clock at night. His was like during the day. He went to work at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I went to work at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, we were not, that was definitely causing some friction.
Then another guy I dated, he wanted kids. And I'm like, I don't want kids. And he just did not get when I said that doesn't work. He just was like, why doesn't it work? We can work on it. I'm like, how do you work on
No, you can't. What, you gonna have half of one?
exactly half a baby? Girl. Okay, just kind of wrap this up in a more kind of like how we kind of connect. What is the time in the black community or black gay community do you feel the most at home? Do you feel like these are my girls, we vibing?
I love when people show their partners, like it may be like National Boyfriend Day or something like that. I love to see the wedding pictures and stuff like that. I remember the first time I ever saw a gay wedding. It was that Kappa wedding. I don't know if you remember that. I had that video saved. I downloaded that video from YouTube. That was like what, 2013, 2012 or something like that. I watched that video so many times. I was like, I can't believe it. I like, because growing up, you don't think stuff like that is possible. Especially when we grew up, that was unheard of.
Your point that representation is key. I actually do wish more black gay couples kind of spoke about their relationships. And I'm not saying we got to be all in their business. I know some people do it in a messy way. Not that. I know we don't have TV shows about it, but even if there was a love show, it'd be more about how like the real connection, not so
I
much the
would
messiness.
love to see a black gay couple on like TLC or
Yeah.
something. Not like some in like VH1 or anything where it's mess
Yeah.
involved or anything. Like
Yeah.
I need to see it just like on TLC, where it's just I just want to follow the family around. I just want to see, them loving on each other.
I have to be honest. The black gay community, just while we're obviously talking about, I'm being honest, of course. It's like a roller coaster for me. Like as a black gay man, like I love my boys, but sometimes even in spaces that I think are built for us to feel at home, I don't always feel at home. So that's just something that I just wanted to call out here. I would say I definitely feel the most at home. I feel like when I'm I love pop culture. I love Real Housewives. I love girl anything, pop music, R&B girls, all that. I feel like when me and guys connect on that, that's where I feel like the most at home because I feel like us as black gay men, we were kids, like liking Barbie dolls, which I did, liking Sailor Moon, liking, Britney Spears and stuff. It was seen as like, you're gay, you're a girl, whatever. You can't be that, you're black, you're a boy. So having that camaraderie now and like that kind of like connection now is just really fun, especially music. I was at the Flow concert for my birthday last year in Chicago. And, there's a lot of gay boys there. And we all just like, I love Flow, I love Flow. Dancing around. It was just like a vibe. And we met this really cool black gay guy. He lived in like, I want to say like Baltimore or something. He was super cool. He vibed with me and my friend all night. So it's just like moments like that where it's like, I feel like the girls just bring us together. Even when we like be beefing a little bit about the girls, like Normani type, all that kind of stuff, I feel like it still brings us together. Where I think some people try to say that we are like dissing the girls, but I think we're just giving real critiques of the girls. Because I feel like one thing about a gay man, to me, black gay men, we keep it real with our girls. Like I keep it real with my girls. So I feel like that's kind of where we be coming from. But I think sometimes we're trying to be like, misogynistic.
Yeah, I mean, we want them to. At the end of the day, we want them to succeed.
Yes.
I think there's a point where every gay man finds like his diva, and he's like locked in for life.
Yes. So on the flip side of that, like, where do you feel the least at home when it comes to, and this could even be the gay community at large. It doesn't always have to be attack at the black gay community. We are a member of the larger community. But like, when do you feel like the least at home? Either you can say in your whole LGBTQ gay community or just in the black queer gay community.
Um, the least at home. I don't know. I don't really have. Do I have an answer for that?
I mean, it doesn't have,
That's
you don't
it.
have to have, you don't have to have one. Okay, so for me, I made some posts about this. One of them was pretty big on TikTok. On vacation, black gay men do not be vibing. It really makes me sad, actually, especially in gay spaces. So I've been to Mexico for like some big like I do like circuit and like stuff like that, and like and also just like party scenes in the gay world. Especially I'm on vacation, I need to be around gay men. Boys need to be around me. So me and my friends will do that a lot. I have a friend group where I do it with, which I'm so happy about. But when we travel, like the American black girls do not be vibing. The Atlanta girls in Mexico, like was not having it. It was even some Texas girls. Like it was like every black,
Do they
and
just
it's
like
happened.
click up?
They click up, and like when you speak to them, it's very much like, why are you here? It's very much like we're supposed to be the only black boys here. I do think there's some fetishes involved in that because I've seen it too often. Like when I went to Spain, we saw it. Like when I was in Mexico, like I've seen it in a lot of places. First off, when I see black people anywhere, even straight, what's up? We under the country. What's
Yes.
up? And I can tell you American, like we are tight, you know?
Yeah.
So it was just odd to me when me and my friend, he's from Atlanta, but he lived in LA when I lived in LA. We're trying to talk to people in Mexico and it's New Year's. We're telling people we like their outfit. They're looking at us like this. Like, very, very standoffish. And I didn't even want to make a post about it because sometimes like, this stays in the house, but it was just so many people being disrespectful. And then I think like 100,000 views and everybody's commenting like, yes, that's my experience. Like, overseas or when I travel, black gays always want to kind of be the only ones.
That's
I'm like, what?
crazy that there's
Yeah.
everybody. Like I be so confused about it. It's crazy how there's everybody experience, but so who's on the other end? Who's causing the experience? If that's everybody's experience, who's causing their experience? Everybody ain't clingy.
I will say for me, when I'm maybe biased for myself, but when I'm on vacation, I'm very much like, girl, I'm not trying to be in drama. And I do really like black people. Like I be looking for the black people. It's a certain type of American black boy, I'll say. It's not every single one.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? I
Like a
definitely think,
token.
honestly, it's like I'll say this. To me, it's like the non-tokens that want to be tokens overseas. If that
Okay,
makes sense.
I get
If that
it.
makes any type of sense. I actually think the tokens usually, maybe, they usually be vibing. I will say though, to wrap this part up for me, I like circuit parties because they dance. You go in, you're lit, and it's just a vibe, where sometimes, I've been to a lot of black gay parties in LA. We're standing. Girl, what's the tea? You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, we're just standing around. Like, girl, I want to have fun. So I'm just going to say that, but.
I don't go to I've never been to a lot of clubs. I've always wanted to try a circuit party, but I've been to like black gay clubs. I went to one when I went to New York Pride, and they pretty much would dance for they had their moments where they stand around it, but the most of the part they dance. It just I guess it took certain songs to make them want to dance, but yeah, everybody was chilling for the most part.
No, when I lived in Brooklyn, New York, all the gay parties and stuff, it pops usually. Harlem sometimes trappy hour people be standing, but but for the most part, New York, yeah. I don't know what LA has a certain vibe, but I will say DC, girl, it's giving a little stand around too. We're just like, I want to be seen the whole time, and it's like, girl, you're fine. So is he.
People do want to be. They don't want to I guess break the illusion that
Yeah.
they've created online, so they don't want to dance or
Mhm.
be like photographed or recorded or anything like that. I'm like, have fun.
Yeah, just to have fun. Like, what do we like? And but that's the millennial in me, So I gotta turn it. Okay, so when it comes to building community, let's kind of like switch gears to like community building, and it's gonna be on and offline. Where do you actually like find your people? And this could be your inner circle, your expanded circle, your hobby circle.
Online is usually from commentary or somebody seeing something, you post something, somebody comments on it that you don't follow, anything like that. That's how I found a lot of people online. We usually just follow each other and just strike up conversation. As far as in my personal life, I usually meet a lot of people through work. There were some girls, all lesbians. We were working at a tech firm, and when we all sat down, it was the first day. We all sat down, and we just all sat by each other. Everybody else was sitting, and there were 4 chairs, and it was just 4 what we sat down, and then one girl sat down, and then here come another black girl, and then here come another black girl. We look around, And then here they go. So y'all the only black people here. And then there we go.
Um, I love that. I'm the same. I'm the same vibe when I'm at work too.
Oh, the black people go click up.
My two closest friends here when I first moved here were two black girls at work. So yeah, so I totally feel that. Do you feel like when it comes to your I know you kind of said some women, do you connect more with black women versus like black gay men? Sometimes it's just men in general, or like I'm just curious, like I have my own experience on it.
I connect with black women easier because I feel like we don't want the same thing. There's no sense of competition. I don't have like any ill will towards them. They know I'm not trying to get anything out of them. And yeah, and usually, I mean, we do relate on a lot of stuff. Like we interested in the same things. We probably watch the same shows. We probably listen to the same music. We probably appreciate the same things. So yeah, it's probably easier for me to make friends with women. Majority of my friends are girls.
Same. Similar to what you said. It's easier for me to connect with women typically. It always just starts off easy, nice. It's not, if it doesn't like that resistance, like you were saying, like it's no competition, it's none of that. And I think too, when you are gay, man, people want to date you sometimes. Then it's just like, I just want to be friends, or it might be some like sexual tension going on. It's like, girl, I just want to be friends, and sometimes you have to fight past that. And some people aren't willing to do that, unfortunately, which doesn't make them right or wrong. But I think those things sometimes come up a lot. I always was closest to girls growing up. All my best friends was girls. And I also was very close to my mom. So like, I like to have like conversations the way girls do. And I feel like girls check up on you in ways like, I don't know, they check up on you when you have an interview. They'll check up and say like, how was your interview? Or they'll remember things. And I feel like I kind of operate similar to that. So sometimes trying to build relationship with gay men, sometimes they do remind me that they're still me. But I think there's just something about blackness and something about like being aligned with black women that's just really important to me. So have you ever built a circle or like a friendship from scratch? Or have you ever like sought somebody out to be their friend and like it became a friendship?
No, I don't think I ever sought anyone out. I probably like gravitated towards somebody because I thought that what they did was like cool or something. I've made a friend through somebody and like ended up becoming closer to that friend than the person I was there with.
That's
There
real.
was one of my friends, Indira. I met her. I had no idea that she was even going to be there. And I went to New York and I was hanging with somebody I was talking to. Like that's the reason why I went. And so we were like going out and stuff. We were kind of like dating, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring my friend. I'm gonna bring two of my friends. They're gonna meet us here." And she had like this. She just had like this light about her, and I was just like, I found myself because she. How some people they'll just like fall back. Like if they're the plus one, they'll just fall back a little. No, she was involved. She was like, "So where are you from? What do you do?" It's like asking me stuff like that and just like making little jokes and stuff like that. I was like, and when she left, I was like, I like her. I really like her. Like she's so cool. And we're still friends. That was 2018.
Okay.
And we're still friends.
I would definitely say I do this. Not so much, and I feel like this makes it sound like you were in the shadows seeking them out. I'm more so like if I see somebody's vibe or aura that I like, I do go up and I try to make a connection. And if it becomes a friendship, I'm very intentional and very assertive. I feel like when I'm out, and even that way at work with coworkers, I'm that way. Just because I do feel like auras and vibes and charisma and those things in person are so valuable. And I think it gets lost a lot with like apps and things. But I love connecting with people. And I feel like that's true connection. Like when you see it in front of you, when you see or even just like TikTok and stuff, we see more personality. But I feel like the dating apps and like that kind of stuff, Bumble friends, it's like, it's just hard for me because I feel like that charisma is not always there. A lot of my good friends are because I went up to them and was like, girl, like my best friend, one of my best guy friends, we were at a very adult party and I walked up to her and I said, girl, you cute. And we've been friends for like 4 or 5 years now. We travel the world together. One of my other friends, we were at a party. I went up to him. I said, your outfit is like everything. And we've been friends for like 3-4 years. So when I was a buyer, she joined the company, was under another person who was a horrible boss. But when she joined the company, she was black and really cute, dressed cute. So I always would go up to her and say hi, ask her if she needed anything. And then her boss ended up switching her over to me. So we ended up being friends, and then now she's one of my best friends. Like we're going to Mexico City September together. Like we've traveled together. Like we both love fashion. So that was another way where like I saw her. I'm like I like her vibe. Like so I'll definitely do that. And I think that's me being a little controlling in my life. I definitely like to go after things because I'm like, well, if you miss the moment, then what?
Also, another way that like I've like made friends is like people that I admire online, and they'll like follow me back, and I'm just like, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting you to follow me back. And we'll like start talking. We'll like leave a comment here, there, and then eventually just start like DMing each other. Even some that are like we're not considered friends, but I have made connections through other people. And even people that I admire, like this isn't like one of my friends, but like she's helped me out before. Like she's given me some really solid advice. I obviously like I'm not into makeup, so I would not in any other way I would not know who this person was. It was Jackie Aina.
Oh wow! You're like okay,
I saw that name because I looked at it and I was like, hey, Aina,
okay,
and I was like, that's her. And I was like, I always compared it to, like, because I've always heard people mention her name, but I never could put a face to a name. I never knew who she was. I'm like, I don't wear makeup, so I wouldn't be looking at makeup content. But I did watch a lot of natural hair videos.
Oh yeah.
And so in the natural hair videos, people would mention, Jackie Aina. I'm like, who is this person? And so I just kept going. And I remember I made a video, and I said, everything that people have said, because people used to like hype her up.
No, I was like,
everything that people said about her was true. I was like, this is so crazy. And then one day I look up and she follows me. I'm like, the hell are you following me for? Like, I thought she was so amazing, and I still do. And I was like, wow. I was actually kind of starstruck.
I mean, first off, that's amazing. She is a phenomenal creator, and like natural hair thing too. When I was younger, I used to just watch the beauty stuff, so I always was a fan of hers. So you follow me back. I feel like you're all normal people, but you guys have big followings. You guys been able to kind of like build your growth in such a like loyal follower base is really like admirable, and like I really appreciate getting that too. Like even like this connection, and somebody like consciously follow me back. And we messaged for a little bit, and I'm like that was just very much like, oh my God. So I know what you mean. And then you'll see like celebrities liking your stuff too, and you're like, okay.
That threw me. That threw me. I remember I made a video about that, and I was like, y'all be following me? Like I was like, I have people who own these huge companies. These people have huge houses. They have all these degrees. They have all these successes. They have this. They have that. They're on TV. And they follow me. I'm like, what the hell y'all following me for? And then, but that was a symptom of a bigger issue that I didn't realize I had until recently.
Oh, that you're saying?
Yeah, okay. And I think I made a video about that. That's that imposter syndrome.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had that bad, and I only recognized that I had it like a few weeks ago.
Do you think it's something I feel like the way people explain imposter syndrome, I feel like I've always had that, and it's like something you constantly are like battling. I don't know. I feel like even when you like every space you try to master, I feel like
I know that a lot of people say it stems from like childhood.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like doing something and you're proud of it, or like you want to do something and you think about it, and then there's that voice in the back of your head that's like, you're not good enough. That doesn't look good. Take that off. You look a mess. Like that, it's always that negative thing. It says everything that you try to block out. It says the opposite. Oh, you're not smart enough for that. Oh, they'll never give you that. Why would they want you that? Like that voice, it just gnaws at you.
No, it's like she's Aggie. All the creative stuff, it can be ultra hard. I'm reading a book now, The War of Art, about like the stuff you have to overcome to be a creative, and like the mindsets you have to overcome, and like the length of time things will take, and not comparing yourself to others. It can just like eat away at you.
Oh yeah.
Always trying to figure out if you're talking about the right thing, and and making sure like owning your perspective and being confident in your perspective, even though when it may be different than a lot of people, or maybe anti what people are saying. I think those battles sometimes can slow you down or
I
like
definitely
stop you
feel
from
that.
progressing. Ugh, girl.
Yeah, I hate the group thing. I
Yeah.
hate it.
Yeah, I want our individuality just to come back, and that's just something I can echo that for as we're talking to the Black gay community. And the next topic is how we like each other, how we rank each other, things like that. So I think groupthink can kind of transition us into that, because I'll say this, and this is about anybody gay or queer or whatever. I do want to hear more people's why they do something, why they believe in something, why they're chasing something to be from them. And I want more of us to kind of be aware of that, because I do think Black gay men, we are a special gem in this world. And I think sometimes we don't even shine or like, I don't know, kind of like expand ourselves to like where we can be, because we're just so like what we were told or what we think we're supposed to be doing or what that boy likes, or you know what I'm saying? So I just, before we get into this, I'm gonna hear you switch your thoughts on that, but I just want to challenge us all more to kind of just like shake up the comfortability a little bit, kind of like, move a little bit less. Cause
Especially when you already are not the norm, what's the purpose in trying to fall in line with the norm? You are already like, that's like how I feel about heteronormativity within the gay
yes, girl,
community.
speak on
I'm
it.
just
Yes,
like,
first thing that comes to
there,
mind.
first
Yes,
of all, there is no, who's the woman in a relationship? Neither one of them. I mean, neither one is. Like, just because somebody is a top doesn't mean that they have to be masculine or be the most masculine one or be buff and big and tall. And just because somebody's a bottom doesn't mean that they have to be submissive and soft and feminine and all that. Like, that's heteronormativity. I've heard people say, "Oh, I'm a bottom. I don't take out the garbage."
Girl,
Oh, okay. What do you do when you live
yes,
alone?
I've heard that. Yes, exactly. Okay, so when it comes to like, liking each other, do you think there is rankings in our community? And are there certain things like when it comes to friendship, when it comes to dating, that are kind of like thresholds for you to even be open to like befriending or dating that may be seen as like a little shallow, or just something that you may be working on or of yourself?
When you say ranking, you're like, what do you mean?
I feel like in the gay community, like we may like each other, we may like somebody, but it's tied to their place in the gay society and like how you show up and things like that. Or it can just be a ranking in the sense of like socioeconomic status, things like that.
I hate that. I don't like that. I had somebody not recent, like months ago. Um, they they only like hanging out with a certain echelon of people, and they made it a point to like basically it was becoming a part of their personality.
Yeah.
And they don't want anybody that's like no degrees or anything like that, like or you don't earn this much money, or you don't have this type of career. Like, I don't like that. Or when it pertains to the gay, it's like, oh, you're fat, or you don't have muscles, or you don't match our aesthetic. I don't care for that
No, that's real.
at
That's
all.
real.
I think that actually that turns me away from a person.
No, that's real.
I'm like, oh, that's so judgy. I don't like that.
No, I mean, I definitely think there's things I'm unlearning, about some shallowness I do have. That's just me being real. I would say socioeconomic status is something. When I lived in New York, I joined group counseling, and out of a group, gay group counseling, and I was the only one that like had a corporate job, went to college, whatever. So I met all these people that were like, some were like homeless, some were like, low income, some were whatever. And that was the first time where I was like, wow, Jared, everybody from every walk of life is so cool. We would get drinks every week. We get drinks together. We would hang out. We would vibe. We would give each other advice. Like, it was just like a very like tight group. And that was the first time where I was like, wow, like, because growing up and like going to college and moving to New York, I thought I'm the shit, I'm the thing. But that was the first time where I'm just like, I like the realness of New York, and these people are real, and I never would have been connected with them outside of just deciding to go to group counseling. I have moments like that, and I definitely feel like I've been able to unlearn that. But I will say, I still, with men dating, I'm a little shallow as far as like looks. Not so much of you just being like us to be in the same level. I feel like I kind of just realized I like somebody that kind of likes the things I like. So if I like going on vacation, I want the fancier hotel, or you know what I'm saying? Or if I like to eat out a lot. I like being a foodie. And I'll date guys that are like, I just like American food. I don't like to eat out. And it's like, it's no shade to you. I just want to be somebody where we do that because that's just like what I like. So I'm learning that there's like kind of like a gray area in it, for the most part. And also learn like when people come off insecure, no matter what they are, I don't fuck with it. Like I understand we all have to work through that, but like I've been shaded a lot by insecure people. When I've dated insecure guys, they get really like wild. Friends have like slept with guys I was talking to because they're insecure. So I do have an eye for that. And sometimes you can make somebody feel insecure. I'm not saying I do that all the time, but I just feel like that has been something I've experienced and that can happen. And last thing I'll say, and I'm not about to sit here and say I'm just pretty privileged, but I do think sometimes like I know girls sometimes like, but when you're attractive or when you dress cute and things like that, sometimes it can create harder problems for you. I feel like that vibe sometimes in the gay community where it's like, you know, you may be a certain level, have a certain thing, and then people don't want to be your friend, or they have an idea of you. So I think as much as I want us all to be open of everybody, I think everybody needs to have that same vibe. Because like, you know, when I make posts sometimes about certain things, people are like, well, you don't have that issue because you're attractive, you know, you're cute, or you live in a big city, or things like that, where it's like we all can have issues and we all can have things, and like just because you may have a different experience doesn't mean that somebody else can have another experience, you know. So that's the one thing I've noticed with people's comments and things sometimes when they come from like a group that may be seen as like not as desirable. Everybody has their own thing, and everybody, rich to poor, have their own drama. So I got laid off, so I can't sit here and act, you know, like I don't have my own struggles, you know. So
I've had that experience before of like, you know, I think I said it earlier about being perceived and people thinking that you're a particular way. Yeah, I've had that.
Yeah, so I just want us to work on that a little bit more. But I think kind of like what we said earlier, if we kind of focus less on being seen and just having fun and being out, I think that'll kind of like make it happen. Okay, so I feel like, you know, that was kind of just what I wanted to touch on, kind of like the liking, the raking, and just kind of like, you know, how we're learning that, if we see it in ourselves. I think just kind of reflecting.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like it. Because really, all this stuff is surface level, so it can be gone here today, gone tomorrow. Your body could be gone next year. Like you can get to an accident, something can happen. You can gain a lot of weight. You can lose a lot of weight. If you are somebody who is so hung up on your financial position, you could lose your job, and now you can't afford all those nice clothes that you buy in the car that you pay for, and all this. So it's like, yeah, it's all surface level.
But do you think that's still like it's surface level, but also like it could be connected to somebody's like how they live their life, their lifestyle, things like that, to where it could still kind of create like a gray area? You know what I'm saying? Or and is there ways where it's harder to unlearn?
Yeah, I think people got to do their own inner work. Because um I've talked to people before who were just like it was all looks. There was nothing on the inside. So yeah, and trust me, the looks don't last long because honestly, pretty people are a dime a dozen. They're everywhere. So you're gonna have to come with something else other than that.
Oh yeah, no, it has to be holistic. But I just feel like we all have things we're attracted to. I'm just, you know, we all have reasons why, you know, and I think a lot of us need to learn certain things. A lot of us need to ask ourselves why, you know, we're attracted to certain things and stuff like that. Even masculinity, you know, the femme girls don't get a lot of love out here. Even for me, I'm not the most femme, but I feel like I do the most around femme. Most of the time, people are trying to talk to me like DL guys. I don't want a super hyper masculine
Yeah,
guy.
I
I
don't
want
want
somebody
that.
that's like more neutral. But
Don't
you know,
suck me.
like a butch queen don't be liking me. I hear our community will say certain things, but it's like, but then you actually don't practice that.
Yeah, I love the Butch Queens. I don't get. Do I get? I like we a lot of I would say more masculine gay men hit on me. But I love a butch queen. And I am attracted to like feminine gays. Um, I always I don't want a DL dude. Don't please do not don't suck me. I'm not don't be saying man after every word, after every compliment. Hey bro, I don't need that. I don't need that because that time that's the quickest way to turn me. I hate that. I'm like, who are you doing this for? Are you just like, are you trying to like say it this way to make it just seem like you're not being gay by giving me a compliment just in case somebody ever sees these messages or something like that?
Which is always like, who is like, why do you
Who
think I
got
care
your
to show?
phone?
Exactly. Like, why they kill me with that? I would say I'm at a place now where I like a dad bod. I like I'm not, you don't need to have a six pack. You can have a little round. It can, I'm gotten to that point. And also I feel like, especially like living in LA and stuff, people care so much about six packs and stuff. Where it's like, girl, I'm not going. I go to Pilates and stuff like that, but I have my times where I fall off and things like that. And I feel like I like guys that live more a normal lifestyle. Like I'm not trying to be, perfect all the time. Like so, I think I like that normal vibe. I'm from the Midwest, so it's like that's where normal people live.
I don't think I've ever dated anybody with a six pack. I like honestly sometimes when I see like a really defined deep six pack, I am turned off because I'm like that looks like cramps. That looks like it hurts. I don't want to see that.
Not natural. I've like really looked into it because it's not even really natural to have a six pack like that. Yeah, your stomach's supposed to have some fatness to it because it's supposed to protect your organs and stuff. And I will say, I mean, I've dated some and hooked up with some. It's not comfortable laying on their chest. It's not a vibe cuddling. It feels like you're like, hard. It's like,
I don't think I've even never been with somebody that had a six pack. It's just not for me. It's just truly, it's not for me.
I'm not mad at it, girl. I'm not mad at it. Okay, so next up is You're Under Spells, where I always like to bring up things within the topic where I feel like we are stuck under some spells. Yeah. I have a few spells. So kind of we spoke about earlier, like the casting spell, which is, a lot of time we see each other as types. Bottoms, tops, femme, this, that, corporate, not corporate, hood, whatever the things are. Live in reality. Like meet people, connect with people, let people show you who they are. A lot of us aren't what you think they are. So maybe be open to understanding different walks of life, different perspectives, things like that, and take the labels out of it. I think we are the label queens as the gays, which is crazy or wild that we are. And also just letting people grow. Whole point of this today was letting people grow, letting people evolve. There's a nuance, there's things, like give people grace. Especially our gay brothers, we all have struggle, we all have journey being Black and gay, so like have grace.
Let people experience the full spectrum of the human experience, whatever that may be, because there are some people who used to be like strict bottoms and now they're strict tops. Like people fluctuate all the time.
Yes, I always say it's a spectrum. We all just fall, we do. But yeah, that was perfect. Okay, next up is Scarcity Spell. This happens a lot. I think this happens a lot in like more workspaces or like professional spaces, but we believe that we're the only one in the room. We should be the only Black gay in the room.
Like we can only be you can only be the one gay person.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing to that, and I talked about this on my podcast, is like when you feel competition popping up, when you feel jealousy popping up, it's a natural thing to be jealous, envious. Like we're human. You can push it back down. You don't always have to act and like respond in ways to things that you're feeling. And I think that is where you grow. And also that's where you just kind of understand where something's triggering you or making you feel some type of way and how do you kind of work past that, I think that's just something that I think we all should work on. I mean, and just overall, the whole message of this today was we all want community. We want community. I want community. And that may be a big community, maybe a small community for you, but like, I think we as like queer people, Black people, all the things, like, I think just like keep community top of mind, keep unlearning out there, keep doing the things, keep making sure that you are, being open, all things we said earlier. Always like to end with a critical question for you to sit with, reflect on. Don't have to answer it now, but just sit with it. So my critical question is, who's a version of you that you had to grieve to become who you are now? Follow-up question would be like, with who you are now, do you feel like you're able to evolve publicly? Do you feel like you're able to be yourself amongst friends, family, all the things? But hopefully you're at a place now where you can do that. But if you do feel that way, maybe sit with it and maybe look at your community, look at your environment and see if that fits where you are today. So anything you want to add?
I don't have a critical question, but I do have like a critical thought. Something that has definitely helped me. You do at some point you can't be strong. At some point you gotta be vulnerable. Even with yourself, sometimes you gotta show people, and open up and let people know what's going on. You never know who you might help out. And yeah, and you're allowed to evolve. You are allowed to evolve. And sometimes you gotta, like, for me right now, oh, I'm gonna get into tech and I'm gonna make so much money, blah 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 blah. And tech bubble is bursting, and I have to evolve. I have to reinvent myself. And one of those ways, I'm like, okay, you got to go back to school. I'm going back to school for.
Okay, I love that. I love that. So that has been the Critical Hour on this episode of Your Critical Crush. Thank you so much, Kima, for joining me. This was
Oh, thank
so
you.
fun. Great conversation. Yeah, and I hopefully we'll be doing this again sometime, for a little kiki.
I'll be back.
Yes. Yes, love it.